YouTube's DJ Bombero here, and who do we have?
Andrew Sweeney.
And what did you do today?
I got top 8 at a box event for Most Excellent.
It was a case.
Or it was a case, my bad. I'm stupid.
Case of what set?
Burst of Destiny.
Yes, let's go. Alright, what'd you play?
Swordsoul Tourney, the only deck that's worth playing.
I'm about to say, why did you play it?
Good cards, good, go burr.
Alright, anything else you want to say before we jump in?
Test on DB to make sure that was good?
Almost everyone in this room.
Shout out to the
What
boys.
ratio
Oh, except for
mattered?
Jason. Anything else you want to say before we hop in, or go?
I should have won top 8, but I didn't.
Okay, we'll just hop right in.
So, we had the tokens first of all, the Pokemon.
Why aren't they
tokens.
sleeved?
Because I forgot sleeves.
Bruh.
So I kind of blasphemy right off the bat. I played 2 Ecclesia.
Only 2.
There were a lot of times where I would open 3 all the time, and I'm like, I'm sick of this card, so I bumped it down to 2, and I put Tae at 3.
Okay.
This is correct.
Yeah, but it actually worked out pretty well.
It is 100% correct in the 10 you did.
3 copies of Moye!
Oh yeah, yeah.
Arguably the best one. The second, they're all really good in my book, but I think this one and Tae are the better ones. Reveal a Swordsoul or Tengi, summon a token, and then draw a card on Synchro Summon.
Forward.
3 Long Young, the Lampseas of the deck.
Jokingly.
So you discard a Swordsoul or a Worm to summon itself in a token, and then when it's used in a Synchro Summon, you burn for 12.
Gotcha.
3 of the other card that I really like is Tae. This is what the 3rd Ecclesia was. Because there are too many times where I wish I had a 3rd Tae to start, actually doing my stuff. And it actually did come in clutch a lot today.
Let's go, Tae. Pound it.
Tengi's standard 3 Ashuna, 2 Vishuda, and 2 Adhara. Also, nothing special. Some people were playing the fire and the water because the water, if you pop the monk, you summon it back and then pop something else. So it's just multiple destruction off of blackout. And then the fire is just a hand trap. Well, you can also banish it from graveyard.
Jokingly.
And then the last card is Protos. This card was really good today. Won me my match against Laralusk. Bird up. More like bird down.
Wow.
And it won me my match against Phantom Knights. In air quotes, it was one of the reasons I won.
Mm-hmm.
And then the worst card in the deck was Nibiru. Worst card in the deck, because every time I resolved it, I'm like, this is cool. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't resolve my Tengies.
Yo, RIP your 10 years.
Nibiru, more like Nibiru, boo.
Literally. I sided out one at one point, but then I started siding out completely for other things.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, please come back. Get fast done.
The thing I learned is sometimes, especially in the mirror, you just have to negate the one thing and it stops the turn. So, other than that, moving on to spells. We have 3 Emergence, Rhoda for a Swordsoul or a Worm if there's a Synchro on field, and all the spells have a level modulation effect, which rarely really comes up. There's a time I wanted to play Shen Shen instead of Chao Fang, but, it is what it is.
You learned better.
Yeah. 3 Chalice. Good card. Definitely was one of the MVPs next to one of my side deck cards. 3 Desires. This is literally Keck W, the card. Because there were times where I banished multiples of things I did not want to banish. Another thing I was kind of back and forth of is my vessel lineup. Sometimes 3 bricks like a motherfucker, so I kind of went in with 2, and I saw it a fair amount still. Probably not the correct ratio, but in my opinion, this works. One summit, I really, really, really wish I could justify playing 2. There were so many times where I felt I could search a second one, reborn my monsters, and start making more plays, but I really can't justify playing more than 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, because I really like this card. And then last is One Call by the Grave, which never resolved today. Actually, incorrect. It resolved game 1 against Flunder, where my opponent tried to Shirag, and I just kind of said, stop that.
Mame.
Traps, 2
Yeah.
blackout. Another ratio is back and forth about. But,
No, that's correct.
yeah, but I kind of like 3, but if I was playing... I would justify it more if I was playing pure.
Yeah.
And then... Imperm. That's all the traps. Those are the only, like, big blowout or high impact hand traps, which is Nibiru and Impermanence.
Why did you choose the Tenyi build over the Phoenix Enforcer build?
Well, the Phoenix Enforcer build has power and control. Tenyi just has more consistency.
Okay.
I do like the DPE build. I do. I need to use my DPE because I did pull it, but I can't justify the pure without a specific setup.
Gotcha.
So for extra deck, 2 Chishao, Searcher, banish a monster or a Swordsoul card, and then it can negate something on the field. Kind of funny. One game, I banished a monster targeted in my opponent's Nibiru to negate it, and then resolved Cheng Ying to banish things. It was kind of cute. 1 Cheng Ying, card's really good. There's a couple plays I was told I should have done in the mirror to call water to pop this, but then banish a card since it wouldn't die. But it is what it is. Beefy guy and the banish effect came up a lot, and it kind of made a few games. 2 Baxia. Sometimes I really wish I could play 1, but I think at this point 2 is really needed. I cut Yazi because there was never a point where I made Yazi, so there's no Yazi in this list. Draco Berserker, another card that came up a lot because I learned in Birds, if they reveal Barrel Canary and you have this, you can banish the Canary and it just doesn't resolve, which is it's pretty good.
Resolve without effect?
Adamant's Risen. Negate, it's just another negate because Moyade 90% of the time is in my graveyard, so this can negate something. Crimson Blader never came up even during the mirror because I couldn't beat over something, so it was just like, well, why should I even bother?
Slow sip.
Shame because I spent $4 on this rare. Chao Feng, another card that never really came up because Bytron is not in the format really. The only real reason I can make it is to prevent Nibiru, but the only time Nibiru ever hit me was top 8. And that was only once. Baron, expensive cargo Burr. I tend to forget that it has an effect where it can return itself during the standby and summon a level 9 or lower monster. So, admittingly, during one game in top 8, I could have used Baron to return itself to summon and extend. Or, well, extend, but, you know, start more plays, but I didn't do that. But it's a really good card. And then Ruby Rose never came up, but it's there in case the graveyard intensive mirrors, or matches, rather. Yeah, it's okay card. I'd take it. I maybe would take it out if I had a replacement for something. So that's the synchros for the links. We played another choice of why I cut Yazi. I played 3 Monk. There was never a time where I sat there and I said, man, Yazi would be really good right now. I always was sitting there and was like, man, I need a 3rd Monk. I need 2 more rares, but that's besides the point. Monk's way too good. And then the last one is Shaman. I only tried to resolve this once and it got negated. Sag. Other than locking me into worm effects, which really isn't an issue. So yeah. It's the extra deck. You want side deck?
Yeah. If you want
Alright.
to share it.
3
Fancy
Lancia.
tech.
Never came up. Well, incorrect. It came up once during PK, but then I never saw it. Twin Twisters came up against Evil Twins, and I just hate Evil Twins and the player playing Evil Twins.
Shout out.
Shade. Dark Ruler No More, the only reason why I won against Lyrilusk. Dark Ruler No More followed by Evenly, which is good cards. I had a Dark Ruler or else Apex Avion was going to negate the Evenly, then I went into battle, Evenly everything away, and then popped the Draco Future with Baron, because it's good, and my favorite tech choice, the one that won me 3 of my games, Gravity Collapse.
Card's so good.
So, for those who don't know what this card does, If you control a synchro monster and your opponent attempts to summon something, you flip this, tribute a synchro monster, negate and summon and destroy the monster, and your opponent cannot summon for the rest of the turn. Do you know what this does against Phantom Knights?
We don't talk about it.
Ends their turn. I used 2 of these in one game against Phantom Knights and one in versus Lyrolusk. Other than that, it was the funniest tech choice. I wouldn't main it. I learned that lesson from trying to main D Barrier. It was cute, but at the same time, it's just like it's too inconsistent for that.
So I have some interview questions for you. What does your deck do against these 3 cards, sir?
That's when I insult you and call you a monkey.
But did you just lose to a monkey is the next question.
Unfortunately.
Chain Imperial Order.
Chain the second twister.
Chain the 3rd Imperial Order.
Do you have any shout outs?
The boys.
Shout out to monkeys.
Maybe minus
Monkey.
Oh.
What?
Shout out to Most X for hosting the event and my go-to locals. It's excellent at Most X. They got the map. Shout outs to
Not sponsored, by the way.
Not sponsored, Sag. Random shout out to Dross because he's always telling me what I'm doing wrong.
All
That's
right.
helpful.
Well,
Yeah.
congrats to your undefeated in Swiss and top 8. So
I really wish I won top 8, but
it's all good. We
You did your best.
all right. Well, this is DJ Barbaro.
Moye!
Moye.
And never forget the Moye.